Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Surah Al-Fath. Victory. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Truly we have granted you a clear victory, so that Allah may forgive you your past and future sins, and complete His favor to you, and guide you to a straight path, and so that Allah might bestow on you His mighty help. It was He who sent down tranquility into the hearts of the believers to add faith to their faith. The forces of the heavens and earth belong to Him. He is all knowing and all wise, and so that He might admit the believers, men and women, into gardens through which rivers flow, to dwell therein forever, and so that He may remove their evils from them. That is indeed a supreme triumph in Allah's eyes, so that he might punish hypocritical men and women as well as the polytheists, men and women, who think evil thoughts about Allah. An evil turn of fortune will fall upon them, for Allah has become angry with them and has rejected them and prepared hell for them. How evil is such a destination! The forces of heavens and earth belong to Allah. He is almighty and all wise. We have sent you forth as a witness and a bearer of good tidings and a warner, so that you may believe in Allah and His Messenger, and may help Him and honor Him, so that you may glorify Allah morning and evening. Behold, all who pledge their allegiance to you indeed pledge their allegiance to Allah. The hand of Allah is over their hands. Hence, he who breaks his oath breaks it only to his own loss, whereas he who remains true to what he has pledged to Allah shall have a great reward bestowed upon him by Allah. Those desert Arabs who remained behind will say to you, our belongings and our families kept us occupied. So ask forgiveness for us. They will say with their tongues what is not in their hearts. Say, who then has any power at all to intervene on your behalf with Allah, if His will is to do you harm, or if He intends to do you good? Indeed, Allah is well aware of all that you do. No, you thought that the Messenger and the believers would never return to their families. This prospect seemed pleasing to your hearts, and you conceived evil thoughts, and thus were doomed to perish. For those who deny the truth, who do not believe in Allah and His Messenger, we have prepared a blazing fire. To Allah belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. He forgives whom He pleases and punishes whom He pleases. And Allah is most forgiving and merciful. When you believers set off to gather the spoils, those that stayed behind will say, let us come with you. They want to change Allah's word, but tell them, you shall not follow us. Allah has declared this beforehand. Then they will say, you are jealous of us. But how little they understand. Say to the desert Arabs who stayed behind, you shall be called against a mighty people. Then shall you fight, unless they submit. Then, if you prove obedient, Allah will grant you a good reward. But if you turn back as you did before, He will inflict on you a painful punishment. The blind, the lame, and the sick will not be blamed. Allah will admit anyone who obeys Him and His Messenger to gardens through which rivers flow, but whoever turns back shall be severely punished by Him. Allah was pleased with the believers when they swore allegiance to you, Prophet, under the tree. He knew what was in their hearts, and so He sent tranquility down to them and rewarded them with a victory near at hand. And with many future gains. Allah is mighty and wise. Allah has promised you many future gains, and He has given you these in advance, and He has restrained the hands of men from harming you, so that it may be a sign for the believers, so that He may guide you to a straight path. And there are yet other gains which are still beyond your grasp, but which Allah has already encompassed for you. For Allah has power over all things. If those who deny the truth were to fight you, they would certainly turn their backs. Then they would find neither protector nor helper. Such was the law of Allah in the past, and you shall find no change in the law of Allah. It is He who withheld their hands from you, and your hands from them in the valley of Makkah, after giving you victory over them. Allah sees what you do. It was they who were bent on denying the truth, and who debarred you from the sacred mosque, and who prevented your offering from reaching its place of sacrifice. And had it not been for the believing man and believing woman in Makkah, whom you might unwittingly have trampled underfoot, and on whose account you might have unknowingly become guilty, Allah would have commanded you to fight it out with them. But He ordained it thus, so that He may bring whoever He will into His mercy. If they, the believers, had been clearly separated, we would have punished those who were bent on denying the truth with a painful punishment. While those who denied the truth made it a prestige issue in their hearts. The bigotry of the days of ignorance. Allah sent His tranquility down onto His messenger and believers, and firmly established in them the principle of righteousness. For they were indeed better entitled to it, and more worthy of it. Allah has full knowledge of all things. Allah has, in all truth, shown His Messenger a true vision in which He said, Allah willing, you will most certainly enter the sacred mosque in safety and without fear, shaven headed or with hair cut short. Allah knew what you did not and has given you a victory beforehand. He is the one who has sent His Messenger with guidance and the true religion, so that He may have it prevail over all other religions. Allah suffices as a witness. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Those who are with him are firm and unyielding towards those who deny the truth, but compassionate towards one another. You see them bowing and prostrating themselves, seeking the grace of Allah and His goodwill. Their marks are on their faces, the traces of their prostrations. They are described in the Torah and in the Gospel as being like a seed which sends forth its shoot, then makes it strong. It then becomes thick and it stands firm on its own stem, delighting the sowers. He seeks to enrich the believers through them, seeks to enrich the disbelievers through them. Allah has promised forgiveness and a great reward to those of them who believe and do good deeds. End of Surah Al-Fath, Victory, verse 29.